What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be playing Rodney Harris's Esper zombie deck. And a couple things to note before I hop into the whole video stuff. This is another viewer submitted deck. 1, 2, really like this deck. Y'all know I love zombies, and I've been having a fair amount of luck with the deck. And when I say luck, I don't actually mean luck. I mean I've been winning a couple times. Y'all get what I'm saying, nonetheless. So yeah, I've been having a fair amount of luck with the deck. The only thing I would say is the early game for this deck is like a bit shoddy. Now I will say this, the deck did have Kaya's Wrath and something else that I didn't have, so I'm not playing the full list, but I am playing very close to the list. And it is an awesome deck. It's fun, and when it does pop off, it pops off hard. So those of you looking to play a zombie deck, this is definitely for you. But enough of the words, enough of my words. Yeah, no. We're gonna go ahead and hop right into the deck tech or deck breakdown. But before we do, I would like to remind everybody, if you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section if you have any suggestions for Rodney's deck, future decks, or past decks. Furthermore, if you're new here, consider subscribing. I try to listen to what all my commenters say and try to respond when I can. People that have been following me know that I work, and I work a hell of a lot, so sometimes I just can't get around to it, but I do the best that I can. Also, we've been partnering with tcgplayer.com, so those of you looking to support the channel can head over there and use the new Dr. Spillikin promo code, and all purchases will help go towards the channel. So, without further ado, let's get into this deck tech. So, kicking us off, we have 2 copies of Cast Down for some removal, and 2 copies of Elderspell for some removal slash Planeswalker madness. You know, if you want to remove, say, your Angrath, then maybe a copy of Scorn and get your Liliana up high as hell, by all means do it, and then ultimate her, whatever you want to call it. That is a course of action you can do, or you can just target your opponent's Planeswalkers, right? Because the Elderspell is like a board wipe for Planeswalkers, which is fantastic. Moving us down, we have 3 copies of Dreadhorde Invasion, a card I really enjoy, and in a deck where it can work, fantastic. And this is one of those decks. Given us Sorin and, well, if I could find it, Oath of Kaya, excellent. If I had more copies of Oath of Kaya, I definitely would be using it, but seeing as how the new set is coming out in the near-ish future, I'm going to be trying to save up my wild cards, as most are. Dovin's Veto is just a hard counter, right? Literally, can't be countered. It's a counter that can't be countered. Despark is fantastic against decks like Path of Discovery decks that have really big things, maybe Niv-Mizzet decks, right, to get rid of the Niv-Mizzet. Nonetheless, as a one-of, it is nice and awesome when you do hit it and need it, right? Moving us down, we have 3 copies of Thought Erasure. I think he had 4 copies in the deck, but I hate running 4 copies of Thought Erasure because it feels like I always hit one late game, and I'm like, man, they don't have any cards in hand, and I hate spending 2 mana just to surveil 1. I mean, I guess late game it's better than nothing, but still. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Tyrant Scorn, a card that I didn't think I was going to like at first, but turns out is just really awesome. 2 copies of Death Baron to give all of our zombies a little bit of an extra boost, plus Death Touch. Visor of the Scorpion to give all of our zombie tokens Death Touch. This affects all of our masked zombies, plus all of our Liliana zombies. We have 1 copy of Mortify to deal with creatures / enchantments. Again, it's great against like Path of Discovery type decks, or decks that are just enchantment heavy, say they run a search or anything like that. Mortify can deal with it. I've already mentioned the Oath of Kaya, 3 damage, gain 3 life, and it gives you a little bit of a buffer when they go to attack your Planeswalkers. We have 3 copies of Gleaming Overseer to give all of our zombie tokens Hexproof and Menace, as well as amassing 1 whenever it enters the battlefield, and being a decent little blocker in itself. We do have 1 copy of Settle the Wreckage. Since I don't have Oath of Kaya, I felt like Settle was a close second as a board wipe or a board removal. 2 copies of Sorin Vengeful Bloodlord. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. This is one of my favorite Planeswalkers to come out of the set. Angrath, Captain of Chaos, a Planeswalker that I enjoy playing when it fits, and having a one-of in this deck honestly feels okay, right? Because the static effect is great. It allows you to attack in with your zombies that may have Death Touch or whatever, right? And the threat of a menacing Death Touch creature is so high, right? and it allows you to create another body for the board or make a body even bigger. Moving us down, we have one copy of Godless Oketra. One thing that I would say about this deck, I would probably increase this at least to 2. I don't know if Rodney only had one copy or if he just likes only playing one copy of God Eternals. I definitely do understand only playing one copy of the God Eternals. But me personally, I love Oketra, and anytime I could play, you know, I don't know, 3 copies, I definitely would. But y'all know I'm a little bit of a jank addict, so that could be that coming in as well, which is why I tried to stick very close to what this deck actually is, because I know if I start tweaking Esper Zombies deck, it's going to turn out looking nothing like what Rodney submitted, and I don't want to get too far away from what y'all submitted, but I do still want to make it something that I enjoy. So in this deck I enjoy wholeheartedly. This has been fun. So yeah, moving us down, 2 copies of Eternal Skylord. Just another amassing interaction, right? It amasses 2, and all your zombie tokens you control have flying, which again is going to affect your Liliana plus your amassed zombies. 2 copies of Enter the God Eternals for some awesome removal, and then 2 copies of Liliana because hey, we're playing Esper Zombies. How are we going to leave the main head zombie bitch out, right? And then we have 1 copy of Ugin, which is just an awesome planeswalker in general. If you can fit it into your deck, by all means throw Ugin in. She is something. It is a fantastic planeswalker card. Nonetheless, that's going to do it for our deck tech or deck breakdown, and now as always we're going to hop right into some matches. Alrighty, here we are up against cruising around 9. I don't know if they mean cruising around 9 miles an hour or 9 o'clock the time. Nonetheless, we go first. Sure, we'll keep it. It seems a bit control-y, but hey, I guess since I don't ever play control, I'll allow myself to this once. That's a pretty awesome card style. And yes, we'll pay 2 life and Thought Erasure. Let's see what you know, I can't even be mad at him. I can't even say anything. I've done that myself, right? You're trying to test the deck, you go in to play it, the first thing you see is a turn 2 Thought Erasure. I'm probably scooping too. Yeah, well, I don't blame him. We won't count that as a match. Amygdala. Shit. I'm fighting against my own amygdala. It seems like a bad fight to pick, right? Because it'll just shut me down. Am I wrong? Can't the amygdala do that? Or amygdala? No, I think it's amygdala. I think it's just amygdala. I don't know if they were trying to make a pun on their name. I haven't seen the word like, you know, 1,000 times. But I'm assuming that's it. I could be wrong. My medical terminology is not the highest. I took psychology 6 years ago. So yeah, my vocab words are definitely not brushed up on. Nonetheless, enough talking about vocab, I guess, the English language, as it were. We got down the Dreadhorde, and we're up against mono black. Maybe mono black zombies, maybe mono black aristocrats. Either which way it is, I think we want to go ahead and Oath of Kaya, that Midnight Reaper. Or we could go ahead and Scorn, but then the Midnight Reaper kills us next turn. I could Gleaming Overseer, and our zombie can then defend against the Midnight Reaper, but then I may as well have Oath of Kaya, right? Maybe Midnight Reaper isn't worth... Yeah, I tell you what, let's just go Gleaming Overseer. We can't actually attack in with zombie armies, so... It'll all come down to whether or not he wants to, or it wants to attack in. But maybe we just want to save our Oath of Kaya, right? It's a very, very useful card, as it can deal 3 damage to anything. So, maybe, yeah. was gonna say maybe shooting it off the gun right there wasn't the best thing. And you know what? I'm just gonna take the 4 damage. We got Oath of Kaya. I'm just getting comfy and settled in here, so I'm gonna have fun with it. Now, one thing we have to do this turn is get rid of that Death Baron. Otherwise, y'all know they're just gonna keep hitting us with stuff. Being big meanies is basically what I'm saying. We could throw down the Death Baron and still have enough for Dovin's Veto, which is nice. Same with Oath of Kaya. Yeah, tell you what. Let's go for the tempo. Let's kill their Death Baron. We'll swing in with our 3/3. And we'll keep Dovin's Veto back. See if they try anything tricky. No, just gonna throw down another Death Baron. And a Stitcher Supplier. Okay, well. Happy to see the Vraska go over there. Well, again, we'll take the 4 damage, and here's what I'm... Oh. Well, that's pretty good, right? We go Death Baron into Thought Erasure. I was gonna say here's what we do. We go Death Baron and hold back Dovin's Veto, but tell you what's better than Dovin's Veto. Well, that's right, you guessed it, a Thought Erasure. Because it's like a Dovin's Veto in which you get to choose. Let's get rid of the Finality. Settle? That could be nice. That could be really, really nice, actually. Now here's the awkward thing. Well, I can actually go ahead and attack with that. That should be fine. So now we'll kill the Stitcher Supplier and the Death Baron if they want to block us. And that's fine, because we got a Dreadhorde Invasion, so we'll keep bouncing that stuff back. And now their Midnight Reaper can't get through my my Gleaming Overseer. At least not currently with what's in hand, so maybe they're hoping for something else. Maybe they're just planning on playing that Molder Hulk. We'll have to see. Either way, Soren's coming down more than likely next turn. It would be nice if I could draw into a land, as much as it makes me cringe to say that. But that way I could, well, shit. I was gonna say that way I could have Dovin's Veto up in case they play something like this that I just absolutely did not want to have happen. Well, we can always play Soren and get back the Death Baron. I think I will be keeping the Settle. If we get back Death Baron though, Soren's on 1 life. But it makes all of our units like infinitely better, right? Or we could just deal some damage to Liliana. Let's go with the risky route, right? One of y'all know me to play safe, so Death Baron, you come on back. And tell you what, if you want to keep your Liliana, you're going to have to sacrifice that Midnight Reaper. How's that sound like for a trade? Amygdala? And I'm going to gain a little bit of life off this. My zombie token is enough to deal with their Midnight Reaper. I'm feeling okay. I'm not quite sure what else they got cooked up, but as for now, Journey to Eternity on the Midnight Reaper, sure. Do they attack this turn? And if they do I defend it? Or do I wait until I can settle? Maybe I just say goodbye to Soren. That actually doesn't sound that terrible. It's not like we have a ton of creatures to get back. Sure, the life gain's interesting, but I'd much rather settle that Midnight Reaper. No blocks. Ooh, Liliana. You know what I really want next turn? A land. For those of you that couldn't have guessed it. We'll leave our Death Baron back, but that's 5 damage going to the face, so that'll knock him down to 7. They are going to block with the Diagraph. Cool. Resolve. So, they're actually down to 8 because they did block. And we'll go ahead and end our turn. We also have Dovin's Veto if they just play a They play a card that's just too spicy. We can go ahead and Dovin's Veto it and not worry about the settle this turn. Because honestly, we have... Ooh. Not even gonna think twice. I mean, not that she's fantastic, but destroy a creature is definitely good. Hey, cast down. Oh, but then we can't cast settle. Not that we really need to settle the Midnight Reaper though right now as is, right? And if I go ahead and cast down the Eternal, then my zombie gets in for 1, or for 4, I'm sorry. Midnight Reaper gets in for 1. They're down to 3. They have to have an answer, right? Amygdala, what you got for me? Use the rest of your brain real quick and pull something out. They can always Memorial to Folly. They're not going to. They're just going to throw down a Molder Hulk. That does keep them alive. Bum bum bum. And a Stitcher Supplier. And a Plague Crafter. The Plague Crafter actually hurts. Well, we gotta say goodbye to our zombie army. Of course, they got rid of their Journey to Eternity, and Midnight Reaper comes back. Here's the thing, though. They can't have 2 more creatures die, otherwise that's just game for them, right? Midnight Reaper, boom boom. So, and we have 2 things with Death Touch, so they literally can't do anything. I'm gonna keep the settle up, or wait a minute. Wait a minute. Good game. Good game, but I'm smarter than that. So we can do this right here. And after they sacrifice, Midnight Reaper is going to deal 2 damage to them. So we don't have to settle, we don't have to play mind games, we don't have to do anything. Just put down Liliana, and because of their obsession with this Midnight Reaper, well, we just win the game, right? So Stitcher Supplier, Midnight Reaper for 1, Midnight Reaper for 2. Alrighty, Amygdala. Going down in game number 2. Well, I guess game number 1. Game number 1.5, we'll call it. I don't know. So yeah, we got some prizes and a card. Goblin Barrage, not my favorite, but sure, on to a game 2 or 2.5, whatever. Lieutenant, gonna be our next foe. What is with all these like original names? You know, no numbers, nothing. Just, or is that spelled wrong? I don't think that's spelled wrong. You know what? You know what this game has taught me? More so than anything about Magic. That I don't know how to fucking read. Like, actually, holy shit, Chance. Go get a dictionary. Alright. Thought Erasure? Well, that's a big hand. They literally can't do anything except for treasure map, so maybe we just get rid of the treasure map. Well, here's the thing. We can't Dovin's Veto the Nicole. We can't Dovin's Veto the District, but we can Dovin's Veto everything else. Yeah, I actually just want to get rid of that. Now it's not the time. Angrath. There's a time and a place for you. And that time and place is whenever we're already ahead. Healthfully so. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take anything except for a land. Just don't let me slip off this high-ass mountain. But we did alright. Now, go ahead and play Dreadhorde. Or leave Dovin's Veto mana up. If I leave Dovin's Veto mana up and they play Treasure Map, we're fine. Are they playing a Gates deck? I kind of feel like they're playing a Gates deck. In which case, getting this down sooner rather than later is better. Yeah. And as of right now, I mean, if they get the treasure map down, it's probably not the world's worst thing, right? I don't really want to Dovin's Veto a treasure map either. I think treasure map does have its value, but it's like spending your fight with fire to get rid of a Llanowar, right? It's like, I mean, sure, you're stopping them from ramping, but you know, maybe you just shouldn't worry about that as much. So, It does appear that they're playing a gate deck. Either that or they just have a shit ton of gates. So, where do we go from here? They're up to 4 mana. If we play one more, we can play Eternal Skylord. Or we can go ahead and go for the Death Baron. Next turn, Skylord, and then just keep up Dovin's Veto. I know it's smarter to just keep up mana for this regardless, but I also feel like you can't just always play defensively in this game. Maybe with some decks, yes, you can, but not this one. The curve and the cost for the cards of this deck are much too high for you to really dilly-dally with getting things down. And what, we would have saved a Dovin's Veto for a Growth Spiral? No. No, not at all. So, let's go Eternal Skylord, and that'll give us, well, a 5/5 in the air. We're definitely not attacking with Death Baron, but we already have a whole lot of damage on the board, non that they can block Eternal Skylord, I suppose, but blink of an eye, that is a excellent one. But now we have Dovin's Veto from here on out, and Lazotep Plating. What a score. What a score. So, they currently don't have the mana on board for Settle, so it's literally not a thing to worry about. There was a word that I was looking for there. Non-problematic? I don't know. That doesn't feel right, but it's out of the question. We don't have to sit here and debate over whether or not we save our Dovin's Veto for Settle. Unless they play white mana for this turn. Circuitous Route. If we Dovin's Veto that, they wasted a turn. Wait a minute. If we Dovin's Veto and we use Lazotep Plating, that goes up to 3. Next turn goes up to 4. We have 4, 4, and 2. That's 8, 10, which means they probably defend that. 6 gets in. They're down to 5. Yeah. I don't want them to fix their mana. Oh, Lieutenant, scooping it up. Okay. Yeah, that felt good. I feel like that was the right play. Just negate them from ever getting there and make use of what I had on the board while I had it. So, I feel like we may have had that game regardless. Either way, that's going to be a game 2.5 up against Lieutenant, going pretty quickly as well. Rodney Harris, you got yourself a deck here. A good one at that. Alright, so let's see what game 3 has in store for us. The Godfather 34. Alrighty. That is steep, but I'ma keep. Because I see the Oketra, I see the Sorin, you know, I see everything I want to with these two eyes of mine. Thought Erasure, like, seems pretty strong. Then of course when I say pretty strong, yes, it dies very quickly to some removal. Hopefully it doesn't die very quickly to these merfolk though, because that would be embarrassing. I see what you're working with. See what you're doing here. We want to get rid of the deep root waters, I do believe. Dovin's Veto. Just chilling there. No? I don't think so. I mean, it could be the difference between a sleep and not, though. And a sleep is like the merfolk go-to card, right? But I'm not really going to use it because I'm trying to curve out. Alright, sorry Dovin's Veto, you're going to the bottom. And by bottom, I mean graveyard. Wait, what did I take there? Oh, I did take the deep root. They just drew into another one. That just bewildered the fuck out of me. How are you gonna draw the exact card I just made you discard? That's like a complete slap in the face, right? Maybe not. I guess they would have had 2 on this turn. Instead of having, you know, 5 merfolk. That's what they're gonna end up having. Oh boy, I love me some merfolk. They're super fun to play. Not super fun to play against. Because you're like, well, I don't have the Kai's Wrath that Rodney suggested I have, so I gotta hope for that. Oh, despark. I've never been more sad to see you, my friend. So we can get down the Sorin. It's an option. It's something we can do. But I think Dreadhorde is better here. And maybe keeping the Dovin's veto wasn't a terrible idea. You know, if we would have just kept mana up for it. Alrighty. Well, we still have well, I was going to say a decent line of defenders, but not really. I'm going to Callous Dismissal my Gleaming Overseer. Or their own Jade Bearer. Well, I mean, that makes sense too. Yeah, I was about to say they probably get more value out of it that way, actually. They get 2 +1/+1 counters. They get another unit out of it. Two more units out of it because of the Callous Dismissal. So, yeah, seems strong. So 4/4, 5/5 coming at me. I'm gonna say no blocks. We can't really afford all that blockage. Ooh, that's an Oketra next turn. That is an Oketra. And we won't make it without Sorin, so Sorin, I'm gonna need you to carry me. I don't think I can afford to attack in here either. Have to defend those two. They still have plenty of damage. This is going to be a rough one. If we can manage to pull it out, it'll be off of... Oh my God. If we manage to pull it out, it will be off of Oketra, Death Baron, Sorin. Proliferating Merfolk. God damn. You know their play just went off completely, right? Okay, so what? You got a little bit of damage. The Sorin dies with that. And Gleaming Overseer dies with this, right? And I almost die with that still. Alright, well, whatever. It's pretty much the only course of action we have. And then go into the Oketra. We have 1 life left. Yeah, so I think that's GG. Not to sound like a soiled sport. Not to sound like a poor loser, but yeah, we play Oketra. They just swing all in. We play Gleaming. Actually, again, same result. Same with Death Baron. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, good game. We're gonna concede out on this game 3 up against the Godfather 34, and yeah. Call it a day for this video. It's been awesome. Rodney, really enjoyed the deck. My only suggestion / preference, I guess, it may not even be suggestions because the deck seems to do fine. It's more preference based. Is Lazotep Reaver, maybe some Spark Harvest. But y'all know that I like to have my decks on the lower end of the curve so that way I can be playing cards instead of sitting on things. But that, like I said, that's just personal preference. So if you can find room in your deck for a Lazotep Reaver or a Spark Harvest or what's the other one I really like? I like Doom Dissenter, but it's not that good, so I can understand why it didn't make the cut. Nonetheless, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and as always, I'll see y'all either later tonight or tomorrow. Peace.